to the cloud. Anyway, the skill set is yours. And they have a mindset of creating an employee mentality with you to keeping you right under their whip. And let me tell you how that happens. And tell me if this makes sense. Any of y'all ever read about the Industrial Revolution back in the 1800s? You heard about it? Well, at that point in time, 92% of everybody in America worked for themselves. Today, over 92% of everybody else works for somebody else. What went wrong? So they knew they had to train you and program you. And so that's why the educational system is developed around being an employee. Rarely do you see any entrepreneurs come out of that mindset. And here's why. Because you go to school from grade school or the first grade, they've lined the little rows up. They tell you to be there at 8:20. You get to leave at 3:30. And it's a job mentality. So they condition you all those years to go get a job. Ain't nothing wrong with having a job. But as long as you're working for a salary or you're working for wages, you'll always be behind the 8 ball. You'll always be basically broke, striving to get ahead from one paycheck to the next. You have to work for profits. You have to learn what I'm fixing to tell you is about leverage and compound. You leverage your time through the success of other people, and the more you do it, it compounds itself into creating crazy business and crazy wealth. And, I didn't finish Georgia Tech, so I don't have a college education, even though I've been to the top of 2 different banks. I knew if I went to the top of them without an education, I could still come home and take a little thing, crazy rap, gave instant gratification without changing lifestyle. I knew it could happen too. All I had to do is become a professional servant to people, a professional sharer, not a seller. And so how does that happen? Well, my why was very big. My why brought me to emotion. It created an emotional state. I'm not an emotional person, period. I'm dyslexic. I have what they call a learning disability, which has proven to be a great asset to me later in life, because I don't feel pain. And so by me not feeling pain, I didn't feel the pain of walking around. Well, just everything.
Hey guys, it's really important for you to mute just press the button that has the microphone. There are some of you guys that are not muted and we can't hear Rusty. Thank you.
All right. But my why was big. So how many of you love your family? You come from big, strong families where, that was most important to you? Well, that's how I was raised. And my 2 little girls and my wife is the most important things to me. But see, they kept robbing me what was most important was my time. But that was what was most important to me was them. And the day I left the bank, you know what they said? They said, "Oh, you'll have to come back. You've lost your mind. What are you going to do?" They thought I went to another bank. I said, "I'm going to do this fat patch thing my wife showed me 7.5 months ago." And they started making. There we go. Right. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. It don't matter. Anyway, they asked me what I was going to do, and I told them. And the one thing I look back at my boss, and by the way, he works for us now. He got canned in 2008. He said, "Success don't lie." So he had to come over here where we're making it happen. But I looked at him and I said, "You know what? Before I'll come back to work with you or for you, I'll get a job on a trash truck, because you told me last week my kids was not as important as yours, and you made a power play. But I want to tell you how much I appreciate it. But here's what you got to understand, boss man. When I hit that elevator over there, the skill set and my work ethic is going with me because I own it. You can't take it." And so I come home and told Robin what I did, and that's when this young lady went demon possessed on me, because I just walked away from this big corporate job. But I was stressed out. I wasn't happy. And see, how many of you want to wake up happy every day? So, in 15 years, I've had a lot of ups and downs and ups and downs. I go through the same old stuff you do. And see, we have a perfect plan. The 3 steps to success, blitz, wrap, repeat is all I do. The difference between me and you, I've just done it a whole bunch more. I've been in it longer. I do exactly what you do. I make sure I complete the 3 steps to success every month, at least once. And most of the time, Rob and I are in competition. We're trying to see who does it first. And, you know, that makes for, you know, happy life, being competitive, sense of accomplishment. And so, but we always draw out a daily plan of action for what we're going to do. Tonight before we go to bed, we know exactly how tomorrow's going to fall down. All our appointments, all our phone calls, taking care of our customers that come in that day. But also we're going to find time in our daily walk. We're going to blitz everywhere we go. People know who we are. If you don't, you're going to know. And all we do is create solutions for people with problems. And I've got into really good at what I call relationship marketing. I'll listen to what that person's problem is. If they talk about stress, and I said, I know I used to be stressed out, and gosh, I was, but I'm not stressed anymore. I wake up happy every day. And I immediately go to a product, confianza. If I hear somebody talk about arthritis, I used to have knee problems, hurt terribly bad. And I used to be hurting just like you, but I don't no more. And thank God this product I take, relief. And you just listen, and relating marketing is all of a sudden you had exactly what they had. If it's true, or you know somebody that did, but now I don't, you just became the expert. And so it's very easy to gather customers. And once you gather those customers, it's easy to talk about, you know, I heard a guy today told me, you just don't know how I was going to make it. And I said, well, I used to be just like you, didn't have any money, lost my job. I said, now I wake up happy every day and I don't have to worry about it because I don't owe nobody no money. He said, man, that would be so cool. He said, how did you do it? And I was able to share this program with him. And not tomorrow, I sit down with he and his wife. But I just listened to his problem and I created a solution for it. And it's just by sharing what I didn't try to sell nobody nothing. So how do you do it all these years? You got ups and downs, and you got lots of no's, and you got some customers that drop off. You got a few team members that drop off. The people are dropping off because they've not clearly defined their why. And if they don't clearly define their why, they don't know why they're in it, because now they just got in it because they got excited for a minute, and then life starts to happen. And guess what? They get discouraged. Well, the difference between me and y'all, I don't have an upline. It's Mark. He don't want to hear that I'm having ups and downs. All he wants to do is how are we going to get it done. But he's put everything in front of me to go make it happen. And so every day, the daily plan of action. But tonight before we go to bed, before we pull out tomorrow, to write tomorrow's plan out, we pull out a balance sheet. And it's just on yellow legal pad and paper. What did we accomplish today? How effective was we in our day? Did we schedule enough stuff in here to keep us busy? Did we support our team like we ought to? And so that gives us a track record, and it lets us know what we're doing from day to day. That's all I did at the bank. How many of you got a job? Yes? Jobs? So if you got a job, guess what? You have to be there at a certain time to punch that clock. You normally know what your job is because that's your plan of action for the day. Somebody else has written it for you. Makes sense? Then they tell you when you can go to the bathroom, when you take a break, when you can go to lunch, and when you can have another break, and when you get to go home. And nowadays, they don't let you work 40 hours. They need you out there so they don't have to pay any overtime or any benefits, and they can get rid of you at any given time. So, you know, there again, we know about the struggles. But what gets you through it? See, I'm big on mental conditioning. I read after the people. It's already went ahead of us and made it really big. I want to know how they think, what they do. So here's what I'm going to tell you. You will become the influence, your influence. So what is your influence? That is the people that is influencing you right now, because when they influence you in a particular way, you influence other people in that same way. Because what did that do? That created your environment. That environment is the 5 people you hanging around. And sometimes you got to hang around less with some people, even family members. See, y'all are my family. I got family members I choose not to spend a whole lot of time with because they don't get it. They don't really want to see you succeed. They don't want what you got. They just don't want you to have it. That makes sense. Because, you know, you get around some of them, they always got something terribly negative to say because they don't believe in themselves. That stems from fear. So how many of you want your environment to change? Yeah? You want your environment to change? So you have to be the one to change it. So how does that happen? You start hanging around people that are successful in what you want to accomplish. You know, you want to become a millionaire, you start hanging around millionaires. Hang around with Tina Hackcliffe, Melda McFarland, hang around me. Find people, and you'll be surprised. We're very easy to talk to. We're very willing to help. All you got to do is reach out. But we don't know that you need to help if you don't reach out. Does that make sense? And so I understand it. But anytime I get feeling discouraged or whatever, which is rare anymore, very rare, as I go back to my why. I clearly defined my why. And I'm going to tell you something. To start with, it was to spend more time with Robin and my kids. Your why begins to change, and it begins to get bigger and more bold as you go along. So what stops fear? Nothing. All of us have some type of fears. You have to learn to manage your fear. How do you do it? You stay engaged. Every day, you put at least 10 blitz cards in your pocket and don't go home till they ain't there. And putting them on bulletin boards and putting them on car windshields don't count. You need to make a personal interaction with that person. They need to know that you believe in what you're saying, because you just become a professional sharer. I had a girl the other day. She said, somebody blitzed me and I tried that product and it don't work. I said, really? I said, what did you expect that product to do for you? And, she wanted to go from a size 18 to a size 6. And I said, ma'am, that's an unrealistic expectation, ain't it? I said, in fact, if they did that kind of liposuction on you, the plastic surgery, in fact, they wouldn't, because you would die. That's humanly impossible. I said, did you get any results? He said, I might have seen a little bit of tight. I said, the product's working, but it kept working for 3 days. But because you didn't go from where you are to a size 6, it don't work. I said, we put 4 in a box because you can get a full treatment. Did you try all 4? No, I didn't try the other 3. I said, well, so, when are you going to stop quitting? So you have to stop starting over, or start starting over. And she said, well, the girl that told me, I said, yeah, well, that girl was probably trying to hustle you to make a little money. I personally care about you. And I'd like to see you have maximum results with the product. I said, back when I weighed 750 pounds, I went to the gym the first day. My legs hurt, my back hurt. I stayed 2 minutes. I couldn't hardly walk out of the place. And I could have walked in there in the mirror and said, I'd just be damned. I didn't go down to 180 pounds this workout. I quit. For the last 10 years, every day I show up. I don't care if I'm in Dallas, Fort Worth, I'm in France. I work out every day. That is put on my schedule. And now I can get about 25 miles in, and I lift weights very heavy 6 days a week with some very stout bodybuilders. You know why I work out with those bodybuilders? Because I'm trying to get to where they are. And they push me. They don't let me wimp out or become negative. They always encourage you to do just a little bit more. See, here we go. Small successes every single day, small wins, compounded over time, creates big success. So if you pass out 2 blitz cards a day, and you do that every day for a whole year, how many blitz cards did you pass out? Gosh, it's a bunch. You think you're going to get some people that sees your vision after that? Because what's 2 times 365? Huh? 730? That's pretty cool, isn't it? So let me tell you how to get more exposures to your personal business. Make up your mind you're going to pass out 10 a day. And I know all of you, you're somewhere at a convenience store, at a gas station, a grocery store. You're somewhere interacting with those other human beings. So 10 a day times 30 days, is that 300 blitz cards? Yeah. That's a lot of exposures, isn't it? So what if you had 5 people on your team that you taught just to do exactly the same thing? So 5 times 300 is 1,500 plus that's 1,800 exposures a day or a month going into your business, isn't it? You think you're going to get something? You think you planted enough seeds where you start to get a harvest? Well, I did it in a month. It didn't work. Try that thing for 6 months and see how big your organization is. It creates massive exposures into your business because you're teaching somebody to do what? Follow the system. See, now we're working on the process. The 3 steps to success, blitz, wrap, repeat, is our system. But you know what the process is? Is you getting off your rear end and doing it. It's the action that cures fear. It's the action of it that builds your business. It's the action of it and lets people know that you're serious. So what the girls, somebody sold her an unrealistic expectation. But by the time I asked a few questions, her whole demeanor changed. I walked into a salon with my at work shirt on here in my own little town. And the lady looked at me. She said, oh, I guess you're going to try to blitz me, sell me that it work stuff. There's people coming here all the time. I said, really? I said, did you do it? She said, no. I said, but by the way, I didn't come in here to talk about it works. I just need a haircut. And she said, really? I said, yeah, ma'am. I said, I'm a professional. I've been doing this for 16 years. And I said, I like to do business locally. I said, can you cut my hair in 2 days? I'll be back. All I want to do is set an appointment. See, I took what she expected away from her, and now I created a friendship. And I ain't going to say a word to her tomorrow when I go in there. You know why? Because she's going to say it to me. She's going to ask. And I'm going to just keep it away from her. I just want to build that relationship. Because most of these kids running around now, they're running around like a bunch of chickens on heroin. And they're running around, they're puking all over everybody because somebody told them to do it. The upline is a weak person. Oh, you go do this. You spam the hell out of everybody on your Facebook. Now nobody likes you. Nobody wants to hear you because, see, you have an agenda. And your agenda is based around you and what you're trying to gain. My agenda, I don't have one. My agenda is I want to share. I want to share it. If you've got a problem, I want to help you create a solution for your problem. I'm not going to try to sell you nothing. But what I do is I show up. And I keep showing up, and a lot of times I don't even talk about it. I got it to a point now, people ask, what do you do? Or how did you get your knees to quit hurting? And I just offer the solution. And I say, here it is. And I don't say nothing more than what the material says. If Dr. Don wrote it in a paragraph under that product, that's all. And I just pull it and say, here, read. Here's what it is. So don't have my glasses. Here, you read it. And I make everything duplicatable. Everything. But there's one thing you can bet, 7 days a week, wherever I am, I'm engaged in this business. If I make eye contact with the person, I will ask you, have you heard of that crazy rap thing? You know, you'd be surprised how many people every day that don't even know who we are. But then you meet some people that it didn't work, or like the lady at the salon where people just run in and try to get a salon and hoping they're going to buy $3,000 worth of product. I don't want you doing that. $80 is all I need you to spend for you, to make you feel better about you, to make you look better. When you like what you see in the mirror and you feel good, that creates an emotion. You want to share that with other people. But you got to learn how to become a professional sharer, not a professional hustler. You know, and if you hear, I had a guy today try to sell me on a fact that I can make $10,000 a month if I just come over. And I said, well, one, I don't need $10,000 a month. I'll make a whole bunch more than that. And by the way, you're selling money. What has your product ever done? And he was talking about these little patches that you put on your arm, and it delivers a high voltage of caffeine. And I tried it because I know the CEO of that company. I've known him since 1994. And I said, I want to tell you something. I'll join your company. I got about 600,000 customers and reps in my organization. Worked really hard for 15 years. Been very consistent. I said, but you show me one person that's lost 490 pounds on your products. It's been very consistent for 10 years. I'm in. And he looked at me and said, well, I can do it. I said, no, you can't. Number one, science don't back your product up. Number two, you've only been in existence for 4 years. So you can't do it. And his mouth all dropped open. I said, and you're trying to sell me money. You're trying to hustle me. I'm looking for a product that changes people's lives. So here we go. Mark and I and Pam agreed all those years ago that we would never let good stand in our way of becoming great. And we say, well, then we're not going to let great stand in our way of becoming legendary. And how do you become, does everybody here, now raise your hands in front of this camera. Do y'all want to become legendary? Do you? If you don't, that's okay. You can click off now. It won't hurt our feelings. I want you to become legendary. I'm here tonight to help you because, see, you're part of my family. And I want you to become legendary. But you don't become legendary overnight or 90 days or 3 years. You commit. You don't quit. You commit to the product. You create your story. And you share that story consistently. How many of you shared your story, your product story today? At least once. What? I see 2 nods. What happened to the rest of you? I see one finger over here. What happened to the rest of you? How are they going to know who you are, what your story is on that great product that you're emotionally attached to and in love with if you're not out sharing it? Guys, get the hell off of Facebook. Get out and build some relationships. It's a proven fact. Facebook is okay for the couple of people that know how to do it. But most stuff you see on social media is a lie. Your life ain't that good. Not mine, not Mark, not Pam, not nobody's. And quit spamming people. Gee, I'm not saying y'all are doing it, but that's what's happening. But I got people in my own organization spamming me in Messenger, trying to tell me about it works. I'm thinking, you never heard that about that guy right there? No. Well, that's sad, because I am that guy. You know, I'm the one that didn't quit. Saying, let me tell you another story. 90 days after I got in, it works. Mark flew here to North Carolina, and we were eating Fuddruckers. Y'all ever eat at a Fuddruckers hamburger restaurant? We was in Raleigh, North Carolina. Mark looked like he's about to have indigestion. I said, all right, Mark, tell me what's on your mind. We agreed that we'd tell each other the good, the bad, and the ugly. We would never lie to each other. To tell me what's on your mind. You look like you're fixing to have a coronary. He said, we broke. I said, okay, what does broke mean? He said, you got no money. I said, I know what that part means. What you going to do about it? He said, I double mortgaged my house yesterday, and I flipped the house. And the money will be in the account tomorrow. He said, but I want to come over here and tell you. One didn't call me or send me an email. He flew here to look me in the eye and tell me. I said, well, then we ain't broke. I said, you think I'm going to go quit and become a little victim because this deal didn't work? No, we're going to make it work. I said, I got you back to back. If you need me to go home and double mortgage my house, that's what the hell I do. Because I believe in you and I believe in this product and I believe in the process. The process is not easy, but if you're willing to fight to get to where I am, if some of you will dwarf everything I've ever done, everything I've ever imagined to do, and you'll dwarf it. Every one of you have the greatness inside of you. Every one of you do, except you're going to have to change your environments. Get to dream. Define your why. Put that why on a board somewhere, on a vision board, on a dream board where you can see it every day. See, the go fast bonuses in your dream board, all that to me is a target. That keeps me focused on where I'm going. I have them. In fact, I have a whole wall in my office. I don't allow nobody in there except me and my wife. You know what's on my dream board? Y'all want to know? People, not materialistic things. I'm not materialistic. The only thing I love to do, and I spend a lot of money, I hunt. I have guns made so I can go to other parts of the world and hunt. I love it. Raised in the mountains of Virginia. But other than that, it's people. So that little boy I see there, that becomes a passion of mine to help that lady right there with that kid so she can be a full-time mama, so she can create a legacy, a legendary legacy for him. See, Caitlin, is that your name? Yes, ma'am. You can do it. You can do it. See, you got to believe you deserve it. You got to believe if you deserve it and he deserves it, that you're going to do whatever it takes. You're going to do the necessary actions it takes to create this business, to create it for him. See, it ain't about you. And as long as you make this business about you and your little feelings, you ain't going nowhere. You'll always have a damn excuse because you become a victim mentality, because that's the people you're hanging around. You got to be victorious. Victims don't go nowhere. That means you just become the settlers. Out west, when it's going out to California, open all this new territory up. You didn't read nothing about those victims, settlers, did you? But you did read something about those pioneers, didn't you? Daniel Boone, Davy Crockett, all those guys that went before us and fought it out. Because their why and their vision, they wanted a better life. They wanted to be free. Y'all want to be free? You want to wake up every day without an alarm clock? You want to wake up every day happy? You want to wake up every day and don't owe nobody no money? You want to be debt free? You've got to understand about leverage and compound. When you leverage your time, that's when you launch that new distributor or put that customer in. And when it compounds itself, it's because you're helping them develop their business. You don't stack it and place it and do it for them. You go out with a plan of action and start them in the process of becoming self-sufficient with your help. Y'all ever been to McDonald's? Y'all? This is a crazy question, ain't it? I love McDonald's. Only their coffee. I don't eat their food. I don't believe in it. Y'all think that hamburger deal, their hamburger joint, is that what y'all think? They got good hamburgers? Any of y'all know? Oh, I saw a finger over here. All right, who did it? Stop doing that. Well, see, they're really not a hamburger joint. They're not. The hamburgers in the fast food is their system. Their process is getting it out the door really fast. They are the largest landowners in the world. They're in the real estate business. Did y'all know that? Their system is just like our 3 steps to success. They just repeat it over and over and over. And I was at McDonald's earlier having a coffee with another organization. And I said, look at all those cars passing by here. They're not saying no to McDonald's. Now just not their time. Sooner or later, some of these ladies have to go down and pick the kids up. They're going to come back and get some Happy Meals. Tomorrow they'll come here for a cup of coffee just like we are. But all this traffic passing by, they're not saying no. It's just right now is not the time. So here, when we develop you, I look at you like a prime real estate. You know, the more we develop you and teaching you how we do it to leverage our time and for it to compound itself, I have to help you develop. Because each one of you is a prime real estate. Because McDonald's don't open up a restaurant unless it's in prime real estate, right? Prime real estate means that's where all the traffic flow is. And they go in and they saturate the area. Does that make sense? So when we help you do that, you become prime real estate because you're looking for prime real estate. Somebody that you just go out and share a few blitz cards a day, 3 steps to success, and follow the system. That make any sense? So do you think if all the management of McDonald's were to go out front, watch all those cars pass by and say, oh my God, they must be going to Wendy's. I bet they're going to Burger King. Do you think they care about Wendy's and Burger King? No. They believe in their product. They believe in their service. They believe in their system. And every day they got those kids over there running, those high school children. It's so simple. The children run that operation. Does that make any sense? Well, the 3 steps to success in the party pad is so simple that a high school kid can read it. In fact, you get a second grader, they can read the party pad to you. So why do you think we made it so simple? And why do you think we pay out more than anybody in this industry? Did y'all see the other day floating around on Facebook? They compared about 15 different companies, and all they paid out, most of them pay out 36 to 20 to 30%. You know, one of them was Melaleuca, pays out 30% after all these years. And I'm not beating that company down. They're just a decent company. They don't specialize in nothing. And then you got another company, they pay out 36%. And one of them paid out 42. And I said, well, God, let me find it works in here. I couldn't find it in there. You know why? Because we pay out 53%, not counting our bonuses, our Go Fast bonuses. That's pretty crazy, ain't it? I wouldn't want me in there neither. No, you don't want us over there. Because those other companies, this is how I look at it. I ain't putting them down, but that's for the weak people. The weak people don't want to go out and become a professional. They don't want to develop themselves into something to where you can create legendary legacy. So you got to believe you deserve this legendary legacy, but you're the only one that's going to be able to create it. And so I don't know where y'all come from. Do y'all want to end up like your parents, your grandparents? Y'all broke, didn't have no money. Any of y'all get enough money to buy your house, pay you out of debt, and you can start life off really good? What? I didn't either. Everything Rob and I have acquired, we worked hard for it, even when we were hungry, with no food in our house, with the lights turned off. Nobody showed up to bring a loaf of bread. Nobody showed up to turn the lights on. Nobody showed up for nothing. And I kept telling Robin, this will make us strong. She's pregnant with my first kid. I won't let you down. I won't leave you. I ain't going to be like most of them little boys that you hear, some bad times happen. They just bail and go get a bottle of wine or whatever they do. I wasn't raised that way, but I was raised with a core value system. You honor your word. When you tell somebody you're going to do it, you do it. I'm in for life. Next week, they're gone. Well, when somebody's so easy to man up and talk all that smack, we don't listen to that. Mark don't listen to it. It's your actions that we watch. And when you put the action to it, compounded over time, there's not one of you that can't be where I'm at. Not one of you. I ain't done nothing so special. I just stuck with it. I fought through the hard times. I stayed focused. I don't have an upline to call to cry to or whine or this shit ain't going right or so-and-so quit and my customer fell off and she got chicken pox because of the grains. You know, all that kind of silliness you hear. No. See, I manned up and I was going to do it. You know why? Because my why was so strong. Because every time I looked at my sweetheart and every time I looked at my 2 little girls, no, I'm the man of this house. Yeah. You got to go through me to get to them. And the chance of you coming through me is going to be real slim and real none. Because I will do what it takes to make it happen. And, if you're a quitter, you'll always be a quitter. See, if you quit, you'll have to start over somewhere. You got to make up your mind. You're going to stop starting over. Because, see, when you start over, you got to take you with you. That's the one equation that they don't understand. Well, I'm going to quit. Well, then where are you going? Oh, you can't get away from you. So you got to take you with you, and you're your biggest problem. I had to tell some people that just a while ago, crying and whining. I said, well, if you'll go look in the mirror, you'll find out exactly what your problem is, and it's you. Trust me. I'm a mathematician by trade. I understand numbers real well, but I also have a work ethic, and I know what it takes to make it happen. But see, you can't be the only one making it in this program. You've got to teach a duplicatable system, and you've got to get into process. What is a process? You've got to launch your new distributors. You've got to contact your customers every month. Every day of the month, Robin is sending out handwritten thank you cards to all our customers. They're going to get it every month because I want them to know I appreciate them and they're valuable. Why is my customer base so huge? And why they've been with me so long? Because they know I appreciate them. They are valuable to me. And so when people feel appreciated, they will do anything for you. They give you strong referrals, recommendations. You got people talking good about you. I told a guy the other day, I said, I'm bad enough, but to outright tell a lie on a guy like me, that's even worse. I mean, I'm bad enough as it is with being a strong red. I'm kind of like Renee, red personality, strong red A, whatever they call There's one thing about us. We'll be the ones to die with you. We might tell you what you don't want to hear, but you need to hear. But let somebody mess with you and see if they don't have to get all of us. I'll show up in a flat second. And so I wanted to pour my heart out to you tonight because I know we're at a pivotal point where momentum is kicked in. You don't want to let this run away from you. It's already created this month. It's getting crazy. This week with the global wrap parties, it's crazy. Everybody needs to be booking wrap parties, if it ain't but one at a Starbucks or a McDonald's, or if you get 30 people there. If you say, oh, I can't, nobody will come, it's because you're not asking enough people. And so you're just hoping you can message a few people because you want to message them because you don't want anybody to tell you no. But when they feel you, see, you reverse if some other year are doing that, you reverse it and let them hear your passion on the phone. Guess what? When they feel your passion, that stuff resonates from within. So how did you get your passion to resonate? Where that molecular energy goes from you to them. How do you do it? Simple. What is your favorite product? And why do you have that favorite product? And are you willing to share that story? And you shoot that and cut it up into about a 60-second elevator commercial. And you just share your passion with them, what this product has done for you. And when you do that, you'll be surprised that they're saying, well, you're real because, see, you ain't like the other people. You ain't like the ones that's hustling for a couple dollars. I didn't get in this to make a couple $100,000. I got in this to make millions of dollars, but I got in it to help people. And I know if I help enough other people, I don't have to worry about the money. So here's what we do at It Works Global. We create 4 solutions for 4 major problems for at least 1 billion people in the world. Our current market is 538 million. By the end of the year, I hear we're going to have over 1 billion marketable people around the world. Number 1 is self-development. We're good at that because you got a training university. And if you're working with a real leader, they're not teaching you how to hustle. They're teaching you how to self-develop. They condition your mind for success. Once you condition your mind for success, no, and all that other stuff is bothering you, don't bother you no more. It's kind of like when you play ball, you work out, you practice. You're conditioned for it. I played ball a lot of years. Number 2, we're in the prevention business. I think we have the best nutrition available for human consumption on the planet. You know why? Well, I've lost 490 pounds. I went from a college athlete to dying, and now I just had my 54-year-old physical. The 3 components for heart disease for a guy my age, I don't have it. My hormone levels are perfect. My blood work is perfect. So the little doctor, this 24-year-old little girl that gave me a physical was embarrassing. God, I can't tell you. I like to have a heat stroke. But she told Ms. Lackey that I was like I was 18 on the inside. How do you go from being very sick to like you're 18? Wouldn't all of you like to be at least 30 years younger on the inside than you really are? Because I've never failed to follow the process. Every day I take the nutrition. I'm up taking it every day. I exercise every day. So you got to have several tools in your tool bag to complete your job. And so number 1, I'm a strong product of our product. Am I where I want to be? No, I never will be. Not till the day I die. I'm always striving to do better, to be a little better. A little bit every day is all I'm after. And then I don't have any wrinkles on my face. I use the facials. I use all the skincare. I ain't ashamed to tell it. Some of my buddies act like but I said, man, look at y'all. Y'all better get to using something. Because when you're conditioned, mental conditioning, self-development, you learn more, you become more valuable in the marketplace. When you become more valuable in the marketplace, what happens? You make more money. You're able to have more solutions for problems. And when you're really feeling good because you utilize the nutrition, you really like the way you feel, and you look in the mirror in the morning, you like what you see. Wow. Now you're ready to go share. If you're not sharing this product like you ought to, it's because you're really not a product of your product. It's because you're just, this is a hobby to you, not a real business. You can't treat this like a hobby. You take care of those first 3 solutions to problems for at least 1 billion people in the world. You know what the last one, the 4th one is? It's money. But if you focus on the money first, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be out of business because you got it in a reverse order than what it's supposed to. You got it out of sync. The money always has to be last. If you take care of these first 3 first, you will never have to worry about the 4th one. It'll be in abundant supplies. Does that make sense? Yes? So we're in the health, nutritional, skincare business. You have to follow a healthy regimen. And, I think everybody needs to exercise a little bit every day. That clears the mind. I guess oxygen to the brain. Your creative thinking starts to kick in. And I like music. I listen to a lot of loud, old 70s, 80s for rock stuff. You know, I'm the Leonard Skinner kind of guy, and that gets me pumped. I get to think about all kinds of wild, creative things. But you know what? When you start doing what successful people, every successful person I know is taking care of themselves, internally, externally, exercise the whole deal. See, that's just part of the equation, because when people know that you can go out and you're active and you can produce, they want to be around people that are what? Successful. They want to be around winners. Nobody wants to be around a bunch of victims that cry. And see, if you're proactive with what we've talked about tonight, you won't have to worry about these other two things we're going to talk about. If you're not proactive, you become reactive. And when you're reactive, you become inactive. And at that point, guess what happens? Now you become a little victim, and it's everybody's fault because you ain't going nowhere. Because all it took is you to go be proactive. How does proactive start? One blitz card a day. If that's all you can muster the courage to do it. Share your story one time a day. Tomorrow, share it twice. The more you share it, the easier it gets, the more you want to share it. Because you'll see a positive response out of the other human beings that need you. See, that's the whole thing that everybody's missing. There's people in your sphere of influence within you, where you live, and it's in your Rolodex. They need you to share this with them. How would you like to be the person that shared it to somebody who was in destitute, they're desperately needed it, and you be the one, that small fraction, that one little share, change the outcome of their legacy? Is that legendary when you do something like that? That's what legends do. We go out and we share with people. Everywhere we go, we're sharing something positive. It ain't nothing but saying, you look nice today. I'm so glad I got to see you today. I went through my drive-through week before last. And a little girl was crying in the drive-through. I said, what's wrong with you? She started telling me all her problems. I said, well, you mean you don't feel valuable? She said, no, I don't. I said, well, let me tell you, you are. And here's why you are. I said, every morning I come through here on my way out of town in my travels, and you have me my large cup of black coffee with 3 cubes of ice after you pour it. And I said, that starts my day off perfect. So you're a valuable asset to me, to a large business, a multi-million dollar business. My day starts with you, and you make my day perfect. So you're valuable to my operation. This kid just lit up. Nobody ever told her she was valuable. I went right around to the pizza joint over there. I said, I want you to send 50 pizzas over there to this restaurant. I want to let everybody in there know they're valuable. And then Rob and I show up about the time they got it all done and delivering it. And they was all in shock that we would deliver pizzas to a McDonald's restaurant. But I told the managers and all that, just happened to all their regional people there and everything. I said, I want to let you know how much I appreciate you and how valuable you are to my operation. Every day you got me out of here like I like it, because I got 1,000 things going on. I said, but I want you to know this is an act of appreciation. I appreciate every one of you. And the kids were crying. They were hugging their necks. Nobody ever even done anything for these people. But you walk up, and what do you do for a living? I'm a Networks Global Independent Distributor. I don't give them my rank or how long I've been here. I said, I want you to know that I care about each of you. You matter to me, and you're a valuable asset to my operation. You think that changed the way those people felt? It's your job to instill that into everybody you meet. If it ain't nothing but a kind word. See, people ain't going to remember who we are. They don't care how big my business is, how big yours is. They don't care about that. But they will remember one thing about you, how you made them feel. Does that make sense? So be a hope broker. Go out to encourage people every single day. Don't go out with an agenda that you're trying to make triple diamond by March the 31st. Follow now, you really need to pick your paces up, because I went and looked at all these numbers before we got on. You people are better than what I saw. You're professionals. You just got a couple little things holding you back. And here's what I want you to understand. The last couple of years haven't been good for nobody's business. Look at the stock market. It had a lot of ups and downs, but now it's rebounded bigger than it's ever been in the history of the stock market. And so what I want you to understand, you're at the right place at the right time to take control of your life and take control of your business. It's just a couple things you got to change up here in your mind. Just the mental fortitude to change. A couple things that you aren't doing, start doing it. Because some things you are doing, you might need to stop doing it. Because if it ain't working, you need to change your course. So now it's really happening. The momentum's kicked back in. It's exciting to see what's happening. We're excited to see the people's lives that they're changing. And see, how would you like to be the one that helps somebody, that stay-at-home mommy, to continue to be a stay-at-home mama, to keep her baby, to raise her baby? You got to have a heart for other people. You got to have a heart to share what you got for other people. So let's go back to one thing. What excited you the day you signed the dotted line? The day you said, I want to become an independent business owner. The day you decided, I want to be the CEO of my own company, of my life. I want to be a full-time family. Who wants to be a full-time family? Raise your finger, your hand, or whatever. You're at the right place at the right time to be a full-time. Hey, this is cool. I see some hands pop up in the little, somebody's hitting hands. That's cool. Wow, I love it. Go ahead, Marsha. I love that. Do it again. See, she did it again. I love it. So make up your mind. You want to be a full-time family. See, you're put here on this earth to live life on your terms and not to allow circumstances to dictate your future. If you're allowing circumstances to dictate your future, guess what? You're the one to allow it. You've got to work, fight right past it. Yeah, there's people trying to hold you back, don't want you to succeed. But guess what? That's okay. If they ain't paying your bills, so who cares? You know what you got to do. You got the best product line available for human consumption on the planet. You got the best 3-step system. I don't know anywhere you could go and become mega rich for $99 and use the product and get very healthy. We ain't done nothing. See, we still have less than 1% saturation in the United States of America. You don't even gain household recognition till you get to 18%. That is a fact from the bank. Talked to a girl the other day. She said, well, everybody's doing this. I said, really? I said, those numbers don't compute real well in my head. Who's everybody? Just because you had 3 friends on Facebook that is posting some whatever they're posting. I said, well, how many friends you got? But my 3 friends. What? You got 3 people that's hindered you from actually doing it? I said, by the way, are they paying your bills? You know, no. I said, well, then what's your problem? So people are just looking for excuse to make an excuse. Stay away from those kind of people. And don't be one of those. You will hate yourself forever. So one day you wake up and you're 80 years old, if you make it that long. If you're not using our products, you probably won't. If you are using them, you'll probably live to 140. I told Robin, I said, you better get on your game, girl. Already looking like your oldest son. I said, I'm going to be still having kids when I'm 120. And she didn't like the way I was going with that one. I was just having fun with her. But these products are that good. You know, my personal, from where I come from to where I am, that's all I've done differently. I've been very consistent with it. So what kind of addictions do you have? There's all kinds of addictions. There's drugs, there's alcohol, there's food, there's sex, all kinds of addictions. Get addicted to becoming successful. Get addicted to blitzing people. Get addicted to sharing this with people in a professional manner. Become a professional. Get addicted to becoming a professional. Get addicted to self-development. Get addicted to using the nutrition. Get addicted to looking better. Get addicted to being the best person you can be. You know, average people, they never become legendary because they have the wrong addictions. And here I'm going to leave you with this. The biggest satanic ritual that I think everybody practices that you should break is procrastination. Oh, I'll start Monday. Well, what the hell is wrong with starting today? Today is Monday. Well, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow, you ain't even promised tomorrow. It might not happen tomorrow. Well, I'll catch it next. I'll do it April the 1st. What do you mean, April? You start now. I'm going to challenge each one of you to do something right now. Change your addictions. Change the environment that you're in. See, it's the rituals that you practice every day that sets the standard for your life. And it all goes back to one thing. Is there's 5 winners or losers you're hanging around. If you got 3 winners and 2 losers, you might end up going somewhere. Surround yourself with people that you want to become. I do the same thing myself. I find people that I want to be like or achieve what they have. I find out how they've done it. And I'll show up and don't say nothing. But those rituals, and the reason I don't say good habits, because rituals, it's a stronger meaning. It's something you're practicing every day. It becomes that ritual. So what are you practicing? Do you sleep to 10 o'clock and then you watch TV? No, you shouldn't. You should have a plan of action. You work just like you're working a job if you're full-time. If you want to go full-time, when you get off work, you get right to it. You work harder for you and you work for somebody else. That's how you gain your freedom. That's how you carry life to a whole new level. But see, you got to believe you're worth it. You got to believe the necessary sacrifices you're making is worth the end result. Because if you're not making the necessary sacrifices for you, you're actually making them for somebody. And so, but you got to believe you're worth the very best that life has to offer. And see, most of the time we get caught up in this religious craziness. And my father was a Baptist minister for 55 years, so I know where I'm coming from. You get caught up in a legalistic system where they teach you that you're not worthy, that having money is wrong. It's not. That is to control you. I'm telling you, you should be the wealthiest people on earth. So here's how I believe. I'm a devout Christian. God gave you that last breath you took. That was a gift. You need oxygen second by second. If he's strong enough to give you what you need to live second by second, I believe that he put you here to live an abundant life. I believe that we here at It Works Global, we should not be sick or broke. If you're sick and broke, that's because the people you're hanging around, they put a bunch of garbage in your head. So be careful who you give the keys to your brain to. Be careful what you hear. Be careful what you listen to. And be careful what you say. Because what you speak it into existence. And that's nothing to do with the universe of the secret. Now, that's a biblical principle. Hung by the Tongue is a great book to read. So I'm going to say this in closing. Don't allow nobody to put you in a victim state of mind. You become victorious because you have the plan, you have the process, and all you got to do is go do it and help some other people become successful, and you'll never want for anything, nothing. In the next 24 to 36 months, I promise you, if you follow what we just said tonight, there is no more to It Works Global than what we've talked about. So don't complicate it. We can introduce you right into that Millionaires Club with Robin and I and all the rest of them. We've helped train most everybody on that stage all these years. We've set the pace for them. So how many of you would like to be up there in the next 24 months? Come on, why ain't you raising your hand over there, Ashley? Did I see your hand? All right. You can be there. You got to believe you deserve it. You got to put the effort into it. If you want to make 6 and 7 figures, guess what? You have to work like a 6 and 7 figure boss. Can't treat this like a hobby. But I promise you, when you get to that part of your life, you'll be so glad you did. Because at that point, there ain't no alarm clocks in your house. You wake up naturally every day. You do what you want to when you want to do it, but you'll become more endeavor-driven than ever. You'll be up early. You'll do the necessary things that successful people do. You'll go out and you'll share it even more because you want to help bring people over to where you are. Because when you do that, you've changed a whole generation of people's lives. You've changed the legacy of their life. If they're living in a generational curse, you just help them break it. Once they break that generational curse, you start after that freedom thing. And I can promise you one thing. If you ever gain your freedom once, you'll never be satisfied at nothing else you do. Because you're living life on your terms. Renee?
Oh my gosh, you guys. Are you guys not just blown away right now? I have 3 pages of notes, Rusty, and that's just me starting like halfway through. Thank you so much, Rusty, for coming and spending your time with us. This team is something powerful. And I'm telling you right now to watch them. See the faces that are on this screen, because these people that are here, they want it. And, I was talking to Robin earlier today, and I was telling her about some of the stuff going on. She said, Renee, if they are meant to be on there, they're going to be on there. And I believe that with every ounce of my being, that the people that I see represented, and I can't see whose iPhones those are, but you guys are meant to be here, because this is going to be that pivotal moment for you and your business when you decide that you're going to take the action necessary, and you are going to believe in your self-worth and your value, that you're capable of doing this. Rusty, you're unbelievable. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. And see, y'all matter to me. You're valuable. And you do, truly, from the bottom of my and Robin's heart, you matter to me. See, remember this, you'll always be paid in direct proportion for the quality of efforts expended. Put a quality of effort into what you do, become that professional, and the money, you'll never think about it. You'll never worry about it, because you'll always have an abundant supply. We've proved that for 15 consecutive years. And I'm not really excited about the last 15 years. I'm just being honest. I told Mark that this morning. I said, I sure am excited about the next 15. That's what I'm excited about. All right, guys, it's been a pleasure. Whatever Rob and I can do to help, let us know. We're here. You're part of our family. Good night.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night. Bye.